Transition. And we're back. Hoping
All
everyone's
right,
able to,
very
to
good.
find this. So computers suck. That's one thing. And
Yeah, you'll have that. Gotta
yeah.
love technology.
I do want to say there haven't been any issues in the last two off scripts, and the common demeanor of the two that had issues is you, Jeremy. Are you a bad omen? Is that it?
I don't know, man. Well, technology is a fickle thing, and I guess sometimes, we take a few things for granted. So we found out we think what the issue was, so
Yeah.
we're good.
It's not as hot as it was when it crashed too, so that's a positive.
True that. True
Uh,
that. So yeah. Yeah. Um,
we were giving
where were
David his
we?
flowers.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, very good job. Like I said, I can't just have a favorite character in WWO because everybody has been doing a wonderful job of being of doing their part, and I'm very excited what's coming up here very soon.
What I wanted to say when you were giving credits to David is that backstage brawl segment, the way you put that together. I already told you,
Oh,
but I'm gonna say it live, so there's actual
yeah.
evidence. Um, Phenomenal job, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. And such a fun job for that to happen. Like having Rupert looked at that and said, "Wow, that was really cool," because Rupert and Taco are very close together, if you will. So, um,
Uh-huh.
just did a fantastic job with that, and very innovative, and that was fun.
Absolutely. And I think before that we were talking about promos
Mm,
of various people.
yes, yes. Um, very much. Like I said, let's give everybody their flowers because, um, from day one WWO to today, like I said, you could see 1,000% of not only production quality, but then also the quality of the promos. Everybody has been doing a fantastic job. Everybody's learning. Everybody has questions. I thought I turned you down. Um, but everybody has had a lot of good questions, a lot of great feedback from everybody, and everybody wants to learn.
Absolutely. I'm just gonna make sure everyone knows that we're live again because I don't think everyone tuned back in yet. Back live after computer crash. There we go. Written in Discord with a
All
typo.
right.
I don't care. Again, screw technology. So yeah, like I said, I've seen a couple of promos for live. Um, Added a few of them, and things are looking pretty good.
Yeah, I'm truly excited for tonight. And last week was really good too on Zone. Not only that brawl, but just um just some really good storytelling as of late, and I've been super happy about it.
Welcome back,
All right,
David.
welcome back. Welcome back.
Always fun when technology happens.
Yes. Um, Speaking of which, here we'll put that technology on. We'll be great. There we go. Okay.
Cool,
As
cool.
as you say, wunderbar.
I still think it's kind of funny when you said, like you always say, wunderbar, and I just replied to you, I'm not German. And you said, yeah, we still say it all the time. Yeah, fair point. Yeah, yeah. We have a
Very
lot of
good,
fun
very good.
backstage.
we do, that's the other thing too, is talking, I talk to Scully and Marvin damn near on a daily basis, where usually it's just to shoot the shit, but sometimes it's oh hey, what do you think about this, or oh hey, um I have this crazy idea for something here, what do you think? um you know we we have some outlandish and wild shit we come up with. Um, and usually it's Marvin and I shaking our head at Scully going, "You want to do what with the Sexton sisters? Oh, good lord. No, we're kiboshing that."
I don't think we can clear that with the Twitch terms of service, man. We can't do that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we try to keep everything little tight knit there, but um, you know, uh yeah, yeah. I like I said, we talk a lot, cuz especially in the world of professional wrestling, um as we said when we started the show, cards subject to change, right? So we're always we have a plan. Sometimes that plan has to be changed once or twice or six times.
yeah, yeah. Like I think it was 2, 3 days ago when we were talking about the tech titles heading into Warzone. Something might change with that. Scully had a different idea of the current plans. I think the current plans are better for now, but you know, that's just stuff we always have to talk about.
Right. Yeah, and that's the great thing is that as a collective, myself, Marvin, Scully, and LG are all are the creative source here, and that's the great thing is
I'm
is
gonna have to
um
quickly interrupt you in this massive show. The cat's
sure.
banging at the door. I'm just gonna open it.
Oh,
Back in like
okay.
20 seconds.
Uh all right. Well, I'll say this, that the great thing is about that is we run it to the fact of it's kind of a majority thing, and or we go, okay, we need to tweak it, and okay, that sounds good, and we go from there, um and that is the way we've kind of run it, and we've had a very good successful run of that. So yeah, like I said, we all pretty much get along, um and we always have fantastic ideas of how to get to certain points in the story.
Card subject is definitely to change. Taco helping out last minute with Cuba's finest for his dangerously crazy backstage wasn't a thing until the day before recording Zone. Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
all that did was add to the story, and it was worked out beautifully.
absolutely. Now I don't know what you said for those 20 seconds, but I think I agree. I
I,
I heard
I
I
I
heard the
was just
final
saying,
sentence, so
yeah,
I
I
think
well,
I
and all I was saying was to the fact of we um we kind of have a little bit of a democracy where we kind of vote on things of how we want to see storylines go, and we do a really good job of if somebody doesn't like it, maybe tweaking it a little bit so where everybody's happy, and we've done a really good job of that.
yeah, and we definitely had to get into flow um, when this all first started. Like it wasn't too long when Scully and I did this. Then we brought you in, and you kind of have to click when it comes to discussing these things as well. And we're
Right.
there.
Yeah.
We're
You
there
get
now.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah. We are, because once you get a sense of how everybody thinks, and then you can kind of twist everything and be like, well, here, I know Jeremy won't like this per se, but if we add a little bit of this, maybe we can coax him into it. And that usually works. We try to play to everybody's strengths, and say, hey, let's do it.
yeah, absolutely. You know, I still think it's fun that both of us kind of had our roles at the beginning of this, and at the moment it kind of seems like we're doing each other's job, you know?
Right,
Because I am helping a lot more people with promos now. You're doing all these intro videos, so I'm helping the talent, despite you being the talent coach, and you're doing a lot for production, despite me being head of production, and we still do our own jobs. We're also
right,
doing each other's
right.
jobs, and it just
Well,
works.
and that's the beauty thing, because you know, any we've always said anybody can come up to any one of us for suggestions and whatnot, and that's the beauty thing is, when I get a bug in my ass, I love creating the entrance videos that you some of you guys see, because I was like, I know that we're using the WWE video game, but let's try to make it WWO. And I was like, let's add that element of, because I tried making intro videos in the game, and that's a fucking farce, right? I'm just gonna go out and say it. Um, and I was so tired of that, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make 20-second short videos. We can throw them in there when we can. Boom, it's good to go. So
Yeah.
great, you know. There it is.
And I just want to say I have this up on the big screen, and the cat was just sitting next to the living room table, just staring at you, Jeremy, on the big screen.
Well,
So
well, good.
that's fun.
Hi, kitty.
uh, so yeah, like I said, today's show is gonna be a wonderful mess, and I love it.
I'm here for it.
Absolutely.
Hmm, very good. What else do we want to chat about? I'll tell you what. Do you want to chat about a little bit of me being an actual pro wrestling? I mean, I know Scully is too, and so is Shane Black. But do we want to chat about that for a little bit?
Absolutely. Now I'm gonna
Yeah.
let the
All right.
now I'm gonna let the cat out again, and then I don't want to see you until tomorrow morning. How about that? Yeah, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. Yeah. I whatever. Like I said, it's a mess of a show. There she is. Hi, cat. So I'm gonna let her out. Feel free to start introducing your actual
All
wrestling
right.
persona.
All right. So, as well as most of you know, that I am also involved in independent professional wrestling. I've been a part of it for over 20 years now. Um, in those 20 years, I have been I've traveled a lot. I have refereed some really cool people, and I have had an absolute blast. Um, I currently go by Jeremy Helko in Real Action Pro Wrestling, and what I've actually been doing, believe it or not, is I have been actually integrating Jeremy Helko WWO and sprinkling it into Real Action Pro Wrestling, which has been an absolute honor, because I get to almost mirror what I'm doing in WWO. So that's pretty cool. Welcome back, by the way, Marvin.
Thank you. The cat's gonna go on wonderful nightly adventures. It's uh, it's not even our cat, by the way. It's just a stray that sometimes sleeps at the end of the street in a house,
Mm.
and yeah, during the day she's often here. It's a weird thing, but yeah. Do people in real life pro wrestling know of the king? Um, you can answer that,
um,
Jeremy.
I have told them about you, actually. LG, just to the fact of I love calling you Kingfish. And being that that was a thing that they did for Lawler, of course I get a few pops for that. So yeah, they do know of you.
I think the
Um,
conversations often start with a line like, "There's this little twerp in this online group that I'm in."
yeah, I go, yeah, this little pissant, and it always meddles in my shit. But no, I've shown some of the guys what I do, and especially Bouncer. I've shown him promos that I've done. And he goes, like, especially like early on stuff. Um, Bouncer was always like, "Dude, that's dark. I love it." And I go, "I know." I said, I'm really proud of that. So, um, yeah, it's nice that I get to integrate a little bit of WWO into RAPW, because I have fun doing this character, which actually is going to debut next month. I cannot wait. Here's um here's a little preview if you guys remember from January, a little something something. There you go. So, little preview. But yeah,
If I remember correctly, you're managing a tag team at the moment, right?
yes. Well, yes. It hasn't been stated that I am their manager yet. But I was the one that was kind of pulling the strings on something that they had done um a couple months ago. So we had done these series of promos where I was hearing voices, and those voices ended up being the one guy Crowley, and um, he was um, he wants to be my friend, right? So, like I said, it's unique because, um, of course, when I started that whole storyline with Gene, I just wanted my friend back, right? And now Crowley wants to be my friend. So it's weird how WWO and RAPW are just kind of melding together.
Two universes intertwining.
Absolutely.
So that is all coming out next month, you said, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I can't say, not that all of RAPW universe is watching, but uh all I've got to say is look forward to the future, because you never know what Jeremy Helko will do next in Real Action Pro Wrestling. So it's a lot of, like I said, it's a long time coming. I've never had a full real match in professional wrestling. This will be my first ever. And it's going to be with someone who I consider my best friend in the business. Um, and that is super special to me.
I can imagine, yeah. Now, what can you actually tell me about pro wrestling training? Because you have gone through official training to
I
be a pro
have.
wrestler.
Yeah, so here's the thing, and I know I've talked to David about this, and even Jocelyn. Um, pro wrestling training is no joke. Um, Send me that when it happens. I got you. So pro wrestling training is no joke. Um, the first day is very, I don't want to call it easy, but it's very light, to the fact of you learn how to run the ropes. You learn how to take the three necessary bumps: a front bump, a back bump, and a flip bump. Um, you learn, and there's a bunch of cardio, a lot of cardio. Um, we would, I think they're called something else. I know them as Hindu squats. We do a bunch of those. We would also, and then what we would also do, what our trainer would do was we would do, like leg calf kicks, right? And in the same area. And, you start hitting something in the same area, it gets tender, right? We do that to build up. So, like, he would do that so he could build up um taking bumps, because you're going to take bumps in the same spot all the time. So it was kind of getting your muscles ready to take those bumps like all the time.
Getting ready for
A
constant
lot of
abuse, basically.
Yeah, right, yeah, pretty much. And, and again, running the ropes, and then we would do these things. Oh, what would we call them? Just, I guess, rolls. And what you do is you start in one corner of the ring and you like kind of do like a little bit of a Superman pose, and you see how far you can go before you roll over. So you like try to get a little bit to like the middle of the ring and then roll through it. And then we'd have like corner drills. And then, so that's kind of your first 3 months of pro wrestling training. And then you get into the little bit more of doing the actual moves. Taking DDTs, taking a scoop slam, taking the power slams. I don't want to call it the easy stuff, but taking the basics, and then going through that and just going through the motions. And in pro wrestling, it doesn't matter if you're a referee, a pro wrestler, or a manager, whatever. You will train the same way, because you need to know what to look for, especially in the ring. Because, like, case in point, if you see somebody going for an Irish whip, right? So he grabs onto him and you see where he's going to shoot him. Well, once you see where he's going to shoot him, if that person, if you're in the ring and if that person's trained, if you see them grab the arm and throw him a certain way, as a referee, I know where not to be so that I don't get hurt. Now, I say as long as they're trained, because I've been in some pro wrestling shows and these people were not totally trained, and it was a train wreck, and I thought I'd be out of the way, and then they're coming right at me, and I'm like, oh shit. Um, I'll tell you a story. I tell this story because it still pisses me off to this day. I was in the business for no more than a year at this point, and I was refereeing a match. It was what was that? Latin Assassin, who we called Latin Asshole because he was, and he liked to play wrestler, as we like to say, versus Brittany Heartbreaker, who was this girl who was no more than 90, maybe 75 pounds soaking wet. So they're gonna have a match. So I'm the referee. They make their entrances. They get in a ring. I call for the bell. They lock up and then break the lockup, and they go, what do I do next? And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? So I was like, what do you mean, what do you do next? So they were lost. They had no idea what to do. So I said, well, lock up again. All right. So then I'm starting to call the match for him. I'm like, all right, Latin, do this. So he does it. All right, Brittany, do this. And I'm like, why am I calling this matchup? I'm a year into the business. If you don't know what you're doing, stay out of this, please. Oh my God. And it was the drizzling shits. It was so bad. And I think I made that match a no contest because I was so tired of it. And the booker, what was funny, the booker actually really liked me, so like he didn't mind that I called the match a no contest, because even he was like, yeah, it was bad. I was like, no shit. And there was that was at the same show where I was so glad Bouncer was actually a heel, a bad guy, and I was telling these guys to take it home because it wasn't going anywhere. And all of a sudden, my back was to the entryway to the ring, and all of a sudden I feel somebody trip me because they slid into the ring, and it was Bouncer and somebody that goes by the name of Jason Bane. They slid into the ring and beat the shit out of the two guys in the ring, and I called a no contest. And I got to the back and I was like, "Thank you so much for saving me," because I was getting mad. Um, Again, and not every pro wrestling, indie pro wrestling show is like that. This was definitely a show that, um,
This was an outlier.
yeah, well, it was a show to get experience, is really what it was.
Oh,
I'll put it that way, be putting it nicely. Um, so because in pro wrestling you do need, sometimes you need to be on some of those shows that are, um what does Jim Cornette call those, the mud shows, trash bag mud shows or whatever. Sometimes you need to be a part of
the
those, so that
outlaw indie
outlaw
machos.
outlaw indie mud shows, yes,
Yeah,
sometimes you need to be a part of those, so that when you do get to the better stuff, you could say, "Man, I got a wild story for you." You know what I mean? And that's kind of where it's at with that. But yeah, I have done refereeing. I've wrestled a couple of matches, and I've been a commentator. I've done ring announcing. I've done commissioner stuff. So I've done a little bit of it all,
you could say that you are a jack of all trades.
a little bit, master of none. Absolutely.
That's
But
actually
yeah,
so
the
much. Yeah, I mean, people know you play Jack McDaniels too, so jack of all trades. You know.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, of course not.
Um, um, but yeah, if you would have told me when I was 18 years old that I'd be involved in professional wrestling, I would have said, "Yeah, right." Um, it has truly been a wild ride. Um, about being in professional wrestling, because I love the business. I love it, it's a blessing and a curse, because there are times I love the business and there are times where I'm like, I hate pro wrestling. I mean, that's with anything that you do though. Um, so yeah, it has literally just been a heck of a ride, and I love it.
I can imagine. So, what do you think is going to be the main reason for people to drop out during training?
Oh, um, so that is a very good question. I'm glad that you brought that up. The main reason is that they think it's a lot easier than they think. Because it's tough. I mean, the cardio, the bumping. I'll never forget this one dude's like, "Yeah, I'm in." Okay, great. He took 4 bumps and got up and left.
Wonderful.
Um, Yeah, it was, then we get the guys. Oh, I know. Yeah, I talked to Batista. He was in. This is literally a legitimate story. That was told straight to my face. Yeah, I knew Batista. He was in ECW. You sure about that? Because I don't think he
I
was.
mean, if you play SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 and you pick Tommy Dreamer as your GM character and Batista's the first guy hired, then yeah, you're kind of right, but not in real life.
Yeah. Well, this guy was dead set on telling me that he knew in real life. Oh, and then also that um, Undertaker and Kane were really brothers. He knew that too.
They are. I don't know what you're talking about. They are.
But yeah, some wild stuff. I've seen some amazing. Uh, no, I'm not. I am not lying. Yes, somebody did say that. Absolutely. I am telling you real life right now, from my 20 years of being in the pro wrestling business. Um, I have also seen some success stories too. I happened at one point I shared my favorite match. One of my favorite matches I ever refereed was a very young Eric from the War Raiders taking on a very young Michael Hutter, which is EC3, and they burned the place down with a 15-minute classic. It was amazing. It was so good. Um, Loved every second of that. So yeah, there's been some wild things I've seen. Let's see, what other goofy. Oh, I got smacked in the nose. Um, and bled through 15 minutes of that match. That was cool. And had no place to do anything, so I was literally going like so somebody one of the guys hit my nose. Um, it
Probably
started
deserved it.
bleeding. Oh no, I didn't, because it hurt like hell. Um, oh man, it hurt like hell. Um, Started bleeding, couldn't stop the match. I'm sitting here doing this and wiping it on my ref shirt as I'm going, and like just oh, and my mother was able to get out all the blood stains. How cool is that? So, yeah, real life here. Goofy shit that I've seen in professional wrestling. Um, yeah, yeah. Let's see. I've also seen Tracy Smothers kick some guy in the face because he got his britches too big and thought he could take on pro wrestlers. That was fun.
Hmm, that's cool.
It was.
I'm just thinking of questions that we can mix WWO with real life.
Mm, go right
Um,
ahead. Think
uh,
away.
I'm just thinking, but I don't think you can have a legitimate answer for this. Who do you think
Shh.
would who do you think would actually make real pro wrestling work? Who do you think would have it in him? Or
Oh, okay.
and I
Actually,
gotta say you can't really mention the people who are already in, of course, because they already are.
right. Well, let's see. Like if I could think um of people who could in the WWO roster that could make it in indie wrestling, um LG could, Jocelyn could, um
Jocelyn is
even
legitimately training though, right?
well, she's not training yet. She's trying to find a school,
Hmm.
but she was kind of born into the business because her parents were involved in independent wrestling. So she knows the business. So she's very smart to it. Oh, let's see who else. I know Brad hasn't been around, but Brad would with the Abomination character, that would captivate some people. Um, Johnny Jackpot would be a fun character in indie wrestling. Um, let's see who
I
else.
kind of hope he never hears this
Um,
because I want to hear the end of it.
um, but yeah. There are a select few people. I know that Hellbilly has said that he has been in professional wrestling as well. So um, so he's hung in it before. So Marvin, I see you more of a backstage guy. You definitely got the
Probably.
mind. You definitely had the mind. LG with this, if he takes that King LG character and he were to implement that into some wrestling companies around here, especially with the cockiness, people would hate his guts, and I think he would get over super good. Um, but yeah, there are a few people that could. And then of course, Showman's character would definitely get over for something unique. Um, everybody has already seen like the Jeremy the Madman kind of psychotic side of me, so we know that that kind of works. I'm still tweaking it, but it's getting there. So yeah, super. Yeah, there are a couple of ones that would definitely work.
Cool. Now, like I said at the beginning of the technically last stream,
Hmm.
there are two ways for people to do promos,
Yes.
scripted or off the cuffs.
Hmm.
And you kind of notice that some people get a little bit too much leeway when it comes to promos.
Hmm.
Do you think it happens a bit too often where guys are just being given a mic and they don't really know what to say and it's just a mess? And what do you think should change for that to become better
Are we talking WWO or just in general?
in general?
In general.
Yeah.
So especially like, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day, right? Um, it takes a little bit of practice, and it takes a little bit of just repetition to do a good promo. Now, like I said, y y what I like to do myself is I like to I'll write a script. And for the most part, I'll stick to it. But there are some words that I'll end up changing up, just because maybe have forgotten a piece of the promo and I threw in something else and it ended up working anyway, um,
Flow of the
or
moment, right?
whatnot.
You
But
you you
right,
can't
yeah,
just
yeah,
stop and say nothing until you remember your next line.
right,
Yeah.
yeah, right. Spur of the moment kind of thing. But you're right. There are some people out there that I again, real life. Um, The guy went on there, grabbed the microphone, and just said tits. And he's like, tits. And he looked around. He was sitting on the top rope. Tits, tits. And he's like doing this. I also saw now I can say this because Jake Roberts has gotten help and he's done fantastic. Jake Roberts one time interviewed a motorcycle.
A
I
motorcycle, as in
yeah,
the inanimate object, the motorcycle.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So and actually, if you look about it, if search for him doing that on YouTube, a TMZ thing will pop up because TMZ caught wind of it and it was a whole thing. And but yeah, sometimes you can definitely tell how much work people have done on promos by their promos. Somebody who's new and a little bit,
Your
a little bit.
your camera's cut off.
Oh, it likes to do that. All right, yeah, and it's gonna be a. I'll tell you what, I'd have to restart my computer. So, um, well, go ahead and just hide my camera, and
I mean, for now it just says
we'll
Elgato, so I'm guessing I'm talking to Elgato. Hi, Elgato.
yeah. So yeah, if you want to go in there and hide my camera just so it doesn't look like hell, you're more than welcome to,
Oh.
since really everybody's just kind of listening to my voice. Um but uh you know um since I was so rudely interrupted by Elgato, thanks. um you can definitely tell when somebody has been working on promos and then somebody hasn't, because they kind of know how to direct a promo. The other thing is uh, 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 the other thing too is when you do wrestling promos, don't let the crowd dictate how your promo is going to go. A case in point, you see this a lot, when they try to take it over with like a what chant, and you see people come back with one liners to get them to shut up and boo them. That's that's just um having experience in the ring. And so yeah, that's definitely a thing that people work on is to catch those little quips, and if people try to hijack a promo. Let's see.
I want to get your image up, but I don't actually have it. Nah.
Here, let me see if I can get it to.
To
Nope.
at least show something. At least your name's there, so people know it's you.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yep.
Not that you wouldn't be
Um,
recognizable from your voice, by the way, but yeah, you know,
yeah,
yeah, it's official.
yes,
But yeah, what I
but
wanted to what I wanted to ask is, do you think perhaps some wrestling schools lack the promo training to really get people comfortable in going out there and actually talking to a crowd?
um, that could very well be the key, the main point. Um, Sometimes that does happen. Like, I'll say this: I was trained at a championship wrestling, where we had a couple of people that were pretty good on the mic. So like me like I do better if I don't have to if I don't have to memorize something right then and there. Because with my attention deficit, I'm not, if you go, hey, remember all this, this promo here, and spit it out, my mind's gonna try to remember the next word, and I can't do, that's just me, unfortunately. Um,
Yeah, quite honestly, I
so
don't think that would be a great way of teaching how to do promos. That's just teaching lines.
right. Um, so if they go, if you do it the way of here, Jeremy, um, uh, talk about this, then I'll be like, okay, I can at least formulate something in my head while going on, and stuff will come out, and it's usually pretty good. I actually have done that a couple of times with a couple of promos, and they've come out pretty good. I'm like, yeah, just give me a little bit of leeway. We'll make things sound good.
Yeah,
Let me see if I can find something here for you, sir.
I definitely think it's when it comes to like thinking off the cuff and just being able
Mhm.
to spitball something, um, shows how much thought someone has, at least in when it comes to their character. And that goes for a couple of people that I've interviewed for WWO. Um, I often ask, just explain your character. I'm gonna try to make it as vague as possible when it comes to my questions because I just want to see what they're gonna say. And
Right.
I I think it's more important to figure out if they actually have something to say than whether that makes sense. You know what I
All
mean?
right, here. That's old, but go ahead and throw that up. It's in your
Ah,
message or
cool.
your Discord, sir.
Yeah.
But yeah, promos, like you know, a lot of mine are, like I said, are I script them out, but I do ad lib a little bit. But what's nice about scripting promos, and especially like thinking about it for a minute and then reading it a couple of times, then it kind of sticks in your head, right?
Yeah.
And then it flows a little bit better because you kind of know what you're getting ready to say. Um, uh, you know, um, I think you guys are really going to like what I got coming up for Halloween Horror. Because, and actually, I got to thank Rupert for that idea, because I wasn't going to, um, uh, I was going to attack the promo a different way. And he goes, hey, what about this? And I said, oh, that's a better idea. Let's do that. Um, so, yeah. Oh man, I look great. Um, that is Jeremy Helko year one of WWO right there. that is crazy go nuts because I totally do not look like that anymore. Just because I've changed the look. But
Plus 10 on insanity, and that makes all the sense in the world.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You'll love to see it. That is, yeah, that is and that's the beauty thing about promos too is like sometimes you start going on a little bit of a tangent and then you go, oh man, I need to put this in there and it sounds just as good. um I've also the king of taking an 11-minute promo and shortening it to under 3 minutes. um I'll get so Shane Black promo for the Shane Black promo for Wrestles Clash,
Sounds about right.
originally uncut, was 11 minutes long. I trimmed that down to 3 minutes. Now, about 4 minutes of it was Bob was like, "Hey, I had this idea. Let me go grab something," and I was literally waiting for him to get back with the what he was looking for. But I literally trimmed that down and got that into a 3 minute promo. That's the other thing that I want to tell everybody here, if for not only for the WWO faithful, but WWO superstars that are here. Because you and I, Marvin, actually had this conversation yesterday. Everybody's been doing a very good job of getting their point across rather sooner than later on
Yeah.
the promos,
Yeah.
and that has been so big. We say we have like a 5 minute bed. Like if it's longer than 5 minutes, please don't submit it because we want to kind of get through things. But everybody has been hitting within that 3 to 4 minute mark, and people are understanding that you can get your point across and still do a really good promo in about 3 minutes.
Yeah. And the amazing thing is that we didn't even have to tell people to cut it down to like the 3 minutes
No,
because
not
we
at all. They've just
we
started doing it.
yeah, we were having these like 7 to 10 minute promos, and we said, guys, new rule, 5 minutes or less. And people got it to 3 minutes because once you actually get into the habit of getting your point across, you're gonna do that
Right.
much more efficiently, and you're not gonna need those full 5 minutes.
I'm looking at you, LG, because I happened to watch last year's Halloween Horror, and your promo was 8.5 minutes long.
Emphasis on the long.
Oh
And
my god.
he's
It was a
definitely
good
not.
promo. It was a good promo, but I'm sitting here going, Jesus.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, but no, seriously though, everybody has been doing a fantastic job on that. Um, and and again, TMX has been doing really good with that stuff. he said, ha, no. um, but TMX is who's an up and comer here at WWO has done a fantastic job as of late, and just everybody, like I said. But TMX has brought his game up because when he first came to us, he was like, "Hey, I know I need to get better on my promos." He goes, "Here's the problems that I have," and we're like, "Hey, we're gonna work with you anyway, bud. We'll make you better." And he has done a fantastic job.
and in a very short amount of time too.
Yes, yes, very much so.
And I personally think that when it comes to the pure message, tomorrow's promo is his best one so far.
Yes, yes. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, it's been fun working with people on bettering their promos. Hi, Zach.
Hey, Zach, how you doing, bud? We're
And
uh, we're chatting a little bit of real life independent wrestling and WWO stuff. So if you have any questions,
he's doing good. Glad to hear that. So that actually kind of brings me to Kyle. because
Okay.
when we were starting WWO, we brought in Gal, who worked with Scully in the past, and back then I confidently told Scully, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna help him with his promos." And
Mhm.
quite honestly, back then I wasn't ready to help people with promos. That's that just wasn't in my wheelhouse yet, and that has come better for myself. And worked with DMX quite a lot. You have as well, and that's been going really well. Helped Hellbilly out with his last promo against DMX when they had the one-on-one match. Make sure their
Yeah.
promos were in sync. That worked really well. So it's been a learning process for every one of us, I think.
Absolutely. And that's the beauty thing of of that all. And I see LGs, although I do love a good promo that's long and has substance. I have been trying to cut them down. So there is a difference between a segment and a promo.
Yeah,
Segments can be a little bit long because it helps tell the story. There's a back and forth, right? I'm sitting here literally looking at the webcam and I'm not on the webcam because it's being an asshole and I'm literally doing movements with my hands, by the way. So the segments are different, those can be a little bit long. It's telling the story of between back and forth, right? So that's fine. I'm more so talking about the match promos, that kind of thing. Um, let's see. So yeah. But let's see. I asked this on the I was curious Jeremy's answer. If Jeremy was a GM of any wrestling organization, what would I choose? Oh boy. What did Hell remind me what Hellbilly said just for shits and grins because I remember he said something. I don't remember what he said though. Do you remember?
honestly, I don't.
Okay. So um I'm not gonna throw WWE in there because good lord, that would be a big undertaking. Um, but I feel with how the current state of TNA is with working with WWE, and doing that handshake stuff where they've intermingled matches. I feel like TNA would be fun. I'm half tempted to say AEW because at this point I would fire their booker and be done with it. Um, but yeah, TNA. I've always, I've watched. Not that I've become I was a hardcore TNA guy, but at least when I can look back, I can totally respect what they have done to try to be a part of independent wrestling and pro wrestling in general.
Yeah,
And I feel like that would be a fun time.
yeah. At least they did try to be significantly different than
Mhm.
others, with sometimes with success, sometimes not. With that being said, hi Monica, welcome.
Yes,
Good to have
welcome.
you around.
But yeah, Zach, Hellbilly said TNA. Oh, that's funny. So I guess we were
Yeah,
both said TNA. Holy shit, that's funny. Yeah, I don't want to totally shoot the moon and say WWE, because that'd be a huge undertaking, like I said. But yeah, I think TNA would be where it's at.
I gotta say, first of all, I love overachieving, so WWE, I would be down for that. It's gonna be tough, but I'd be down for that. When you say DPW, Zach, which promotion do you mean exactly?
Yes,
Because
please educate us on what DPW is, the full name of it.
I'm familiar with a DPW, and that stands for Dutch Pro Wrestling, Deadlock Pro Wrestling.
Oh,
Okay.
Deadlock Pro Wrestling. Okay.
Because funny enough, my other suggestion would be Dutch Pro Wrestling and try to get that to a more regionalized, acknowledged promotion. Because right now it's like very indie. A few Dutch people know about it. Half of the audience is German. I kind of want to have that take over Europe. So that would be dang. Dangerous touch pro wrestling. David, I'm gonna look you up and punch you.
DDPW. Well, that's
Uh,
self high five right there, bud. Um, but
I'm
yeah,
surrounded
no,
by the
that's a very
uncultured.
good question. Thank you, Zach. What's
Yeah.
the okay. All right. I am so glad you asked this, Zach, because we're gonna get legitimately real life here for a second. Okay. Um, so the whole Jeremy Helko slash Jeremy the Madman character is because of things that have happened to me in real life. Um, there was a promo I did at the beginning of WWO, where Buster Guts and I went up against each other, and he had said something like, "Oh, hey, yeah, Jeremy is a Bray Wyatt wannabe." Now, I do take into account Bray Wyatt as a very big inspiration to the Jeremy Helko slash Jeremy the Madman character, but there's also some realism to it because I've been in a mental hospital in real life, and I can openly talk about this now. I have no problem doing this. When I was 11 going to be 12 on October 8th, my grandmother passed away. On October 9th, we were in Kansas. Um, on October 11th, which was my birthday, we had her funeral. And if that doesn't mess somebody up as a child, I don't know what would. So I flew off the rails, so to speak. And I was in a hospital, for about 2.5 weeks, so I could get better. And it kind of worked. There were some things that I don't think they should have done. But um, it was what it was. But also real life to the fact of I was picked on in school, and because back in the 80s and 90s, not a lot was known about cerebral palsy. And of course, when kids see something that's different, they got to make fun of it because they don't know how to act. Um, so I take a lot of that, all that pent up frustration, all of the people who have made fun of me, all of the people who told me I'd amount to nothing. I had teachers tell me that I wouldn't graduate with my graduating class. I had people that say I'd be dead by the time I was 25. Um, and just I take all of that because I just turned 45, and I take all of that and I put all that anguish into my promos. So like when you see me do a promo, especially, and that's why I was so glad when I told Shane the idea that I wanted for leading up to our promos. I was like, as long as you're in, I got these great ideas. And he goes, no, cool, man. He goes, I could totally play off of it. Sweet. And that night I wrote all three promos. I was because I flipped that switch on of getting in that mindset of being tormented when I was in school, and I gave it hell. And I came out with three beautiful promos. Um And so that is how Jeremy the Madman, Jeremy Halko has come about, is because of real life stuff that has happened to me. And I now have zero problem talking about that because mental health's a real thing, right? We saw that with Bray. We saw that with the Wyatt Six. We see that now with the Wyatt Six. So um, it's a beautiful thing. Was that a little much for you, Marvin?
No, no, I'm just waiting. Like,
Yeah, no, we're good. Yeah,
quite honestly, it's not the first time you've told this because you've also told this privately to me. So for me, it's not the first time hearing it. But um,
yeah,
yeah, it's you took everything and you turned it into something creative, and that's
yeah.
admirable. A lot of people don't really have the outlet for it, you know. So
Right.
that's always a good thing. And I'm guessing if anyone sees this who is struggling with a lot of pent up frustrations, whether that's big or small from childhood or later, you're gonna have to find a way to just deal with the emotions, even though things are always gonna be part of you. You're gonna have to find a way to let it out because
Right.
otherwise it's gonna eat at you.
Right. Absolutely. Um, and I'm very and the other thing too that also has helped me is uh internet radio. With doing that as well. So um I have some very good outlets that I have been given that I get to get all my frustration out. And not that I'm a perfect person, but because I still do have my flaws on anger issues. But um I tell you what, 15, 20 years ago, Jeremy is definitely way different than this Jeremy. And it's because I get to vent those frustrations. And it is it's such a nice relief.
I can imagine. Yeah. David said, "Fuck those teachers"
Yes.
on your teacher story.
Um, yeah, that was rough. Hearing that from a couple of teachers now here locally back in the day, that was not fun. And I know my mom was super pissed when I told her about that, and she raised all sorts of hell. She went up to the school and was like, "Are you kidding me right now?" And yeah, that was an interesting day. Um,
And
but
like you said, back then there wasn't a lot known you know, about cerebral palsy. So
right,
when a teacher says that, someone who's supposed to know a lot of things and supposed to teach you things, when they say you're not gonna make it past 25, you're gonna believe that, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah. It, like I said, it's been an amazing journey to the fact of um I get to I get to intertwine real life with this gimmick. I don't name some names have been changed, and some names have been reworked, but I get to let you guys in on a little bit of what I dealt with in real life. And like uh the teacher, Mrs. Smith, when I showed her a picture, that was actually legitimately a tutor of mine. um so that picture that I showed in that promo, that was legitimately her. And she was such a great tutor to me way back in the day. Um all jokes aside, that's a great come up story. Yeah, like I said, I'm glad I get to um because nobody likes talking about their past, right? It's just it's not fun. But with me controlling how I tell the story, and especially giving it to you guys in a storyline uh base, makes it a lot easier for me to tell it. and that's what you guys let me tell that story, and you guys have been so entertained with it, because Scully's always saying, oh hey, I just want to see what you're gonna do next. And then you have people like Monica who has always said like, oh, I can't wait to see what you're gonna do next too, because I want to see what direction you're gonna go. That is truly so special to me, because I get to let for a lack of a better saying, I get to let everybody into Jeremy the Madman, like real life.
And I do think it's also very funny that whenever Scully and I talk about you, it's kind of just, yeah, we'll figure something out. We'll figure out an opponent, and Jeremy's gonna come up with the story. He always does.
Uh,
So we definitely want to keep you free with telling that story too. Just yeah, you know.
By chance, did you ever get into it with a nurse only calm down when given sedatives? Boy, yes, but it wasn't a nurse; it was a doctor.
Hmm.
I had to think about that one for a minute. But yeah. But I can honestly say this: with all of the trials and tribulations I've gone through, I wouldn't change it for the world, because it shaped me to be a bad motherfucker.
Zach actually has a WWO question for you. Um,
Okay.
Now I gotta say, um, Jeremy is part of the creative team. He knows
Hmm.
who the next the WWO World Champ is gonna be. Um,
I do. I do.
and you know who the
But
one
I
after
will
that
say
is going to
this.
be. So
Right.
yeah.
I will say this. Being there are e- e- everybody can be champion, and the thing is this, somebody said this in WWE, and I don't remember who, but I always rock the sentiment: if you don't come into a company wanting to be champion, what are you doing here? Because you should have that chip on your shoulder that you want to be the top guy, right?
Now there have been a
um
couple of people who said, if you don't want to be world champion, what are you doing there? But with those exact words, and especially with the chip on your shoulder, that was Cody Rhodes.
mm, um right, exactly. Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll take, and I believe that 1,000%, because you have to go in there, and you want to you want to be that top guy, because you're like, I got here, now I want to make the most of it, right? So um coming in and doing that, like I can see showman Gene Jordan as a champion. I can see Hellbilly as a champion. I can see Mr. G as a champion. I mean, we have so many people that can take that step. Um, Hell, TMX, the rate you're going, down the road, kid, you'll be champion. Everybody's got the absolute potential to be a champion. Um, Hell, even Johnny Jackpot, and we'll make sure that we'll bleep that out so he doesn't know and we won't get his head big. But
It's too late for him anyway. He's probably sleeping.
okay.
It's like
Uh,
1:30 for him right now. It's 2:30 for me,
oh,
but I'm an
okay.
idiot, so you know.
And I gotta record live here in a little bit, but that's okay. But anywho, but yeah, that's uh add Marvin to Marvin could be champion. He won't say it, yeah, but absolutely Marvin could be champion. He could
I
have some anonymous guy come in and make that match, but
I have no idea what you're talking about, Jeremy. What type of shenanigans are these?
where he literally came in, had his own show, and made everybody champion.
I just want to say that was Scully's idea. I'm part of a booking team, but I'm not that that over myself, you know.
That's so good.
I'm not a Jeff
Marvin's
Jarrett. I'm
just
not a
got
Hulk Hogan. Just saying.
man. Hogan must pose, man. Hogan must pose. Um, but no, like I said, anybody in WWO could be a champion. It is, you know, and I hope I don't offend anybody by saying this, because when we had that transition from TKWA to WWO, Scully pulled me into um a chat with you and him, because you guys were
Yeah,
co-owners, right? And you guys came in and you said, Jeremy, this is what we want to do. We want to make it storyline based, and we want you to be one of our top guys. You know, Scully was singing my praises. He's like, you do a fantastic promo. That you're always making me guess of what you're gonna do next. And he's like, we really want to have you a part of this. And when he said storyline based, I was in. And so, being at the time, I didn't know that Shane was in, and he had, and I knew, because I knew Scully. I didn't even know Scully was in the business until he told me a little bit later down the road. But I didn't know that Shane was gonna do it, so I didn't know that he was in the business. And I said, and I told myself, I was like, look, I know people like my promos, like, you know, because Scully was like, you know, because he even said that on one of the last shows of the transition. He's like, yeah, Jeremy, you do a fantastic promo, yada, yada, yada. And you know, in my head, I was like, okay, being that I'm coming in, being a part of the business, um, and doing these outlandish promos and making them good, and showing people that they don't need to do a bunch of cussing to get over. I want and saying, and then having say, okay, well, Jeremy's in the main event picture 90% of the time. I was like, okay, I hope people see that, get aggravated, and then try to beat me at a promo. Even though it was still storyline based, you know, I was like, if people get aggravated enough that they go, I want to be where Jeremy is, and then which pushed them to do a better promo, then then there it was. And you know, I can I can actually see that now. It took a little bit, right? You know, it took a little bit of growing pains,
yeah.
but here people are putting out some fantastic promos. You know,
Before we
Chim's
go to
game
that,
is
yeah, but before we go to that
sure.
question, by the way, from Zach, I do want to say, because you mentioned it with the last cousin, and that's still so very funny. When Skilly and I first went to talk, and he asked me what I thought needed to change, and he was just agreeing with everything. I said there needs to be a lot less cussing, because that just absolutely sucks. We need to make it storyline based, because just doing these promo versus promo things is messing plans up, and is messing up
So
things that
here
could be
is
very good storylines. And he was like, "Yeah, already had that in mind. Already did that in mind." Thought, yeah, this partnership is gonna be great. We're so in line with
so
all of this.
so here's a big rule of thumb in the independent pro wrestling business. Well, even pro wrestling in general, but if you need to drop a gratuitous F bomb. Now, because I know sometimes AEW lets certain superstars get away with F bombs, and it's not terrible. And even back in the day, ECW, they were outlandish, and it was fine, because it wasn't. But like, you know, some people would be like, you know, S my D, you know, F your M, and yada yada yada, and they think that would be a good promo. Um, you know, there is a thing of you can talk shit but not shit talk your opponent.
Yeah.
Um, we have done a fantastic job of the shit talking and not shitting on opponents. And that is one thing I am very, very, very proud of. Um, because we have done a good job of that. We've also done a very good job of curbing the cussing. Now, we do have a rule is if as long as it is warranted, drop the F bomb.
The emotion needs to
Um,
be there for the story, you know?
right, the
Like
emotion, right, the emotion, right,
if it's a first time two people facing off against each other, there isn't any story there. It might just be nothing more than a contenders match for a title. There's no
right,
need to cuss. Like none at
right.
all.
Now, damn, hell, shit, that's fine. We're talking the seven dirty words, right? Um,
Yeah.
that's kind of what we're talking. Actually, there's 10 because fart, turd, and twat are there too. Um, but
If you use that in the promo, there are a whole bunch of different issues.
right. I that would only be me talking about Scully when he had the bathroom office, and I'm like, why does it smell like open booty hole? But anyhow, I digress. Um, so that's the thing. Like, I'm so glad that we have gotten to the point where we can do a quote unquote lot of damage in a good way, I might add, on people's characters with not really cussing. Making a good promo, making a good back and forth promo, and we have done a fantastic, fantastic job of that. Um, so I am very proud of our locker room for that, of following that rule and doing such an amazing job. Again, I bring up LG a lot because he was in that realm of seeing all of what we're talking about here. And and he did a promo or two where there was a lot of gratuitous cussing. He is again, his promos have become 1,000% better because he's learned how to formulate a really good promo.
I think David was the very first person who wasn't part of creative that looked at all those rules and really saw an opportunity for his own character. At least if he wasn't the first person to realize that, he was the first person who made it seem like he did. And I think that's why he thrived and has grown so much in the past 3 years.
Um, Zach did say a question for both of us: whose
Yeah.
promos beside your own is your favorite to listen to? Um, I do like a good Jocelyn promo. She has really been trying super hard. Um, to Her crush word is an F bomb, and we have really been trying to work on that not being a thing, and she has done so good on trying to um make that not happen. So that would be mine.
For me, it's Shane. Like it doesn't really
Shane's
matter.
promos are always
Yeah.
really good. Yes,
The
yes.
way he just captivates you with his voice when he talks about what's going on. It doesn't need a lot of flamboyance. It's just there and it
Oh
works
yeah,
and it grabs you, you know. So
absolutely.
that's definitely my favorite.
um Monica said, do you guys vote to make Scully put himself in situations at bathroom locker room?
If I remember correctly, that was his
um
idea, wasn't it?
It was, but then Rupert and I took it just a tad farther.
Of course you did. Of course you did. But
um,
the entire him having being sent to a bedroom as his office, that was his idea. And he said,
yeah,
hey man, if there needs to be a shot where I'm cleaning that just to make it funny, I'd absolutely do it." So, yeah.
yeah. And I got to give it up to Scully for the Reaper promos because holy shit, dude. Though
Damn commercials.
them stealing the police car, them stealing yeah, I we're gonna fix that for Halloween horror. Oh, she won't hear that until we come back from commercial. But um, uh, so we um we definitely did some fun stuff with that. Um, yeah, Scully has done a fantastic job of the Reaper promos and how the fun stuff with that. Monica, we will fix that issue um with the commercials. I have to tweak it. Um
Yeah.
so but anywho, what like I was saying, Scully has done a fantastic job on the Reaper promos and stuff like that, and the goofy shit comes up with like this, and then also, uh, the the promos of Scully in the bathroom, yeah, that was hilarious. He came up with that idea, and he had so much fun with it.
Sometimes you just need to take yourself not so seriously because that's everyone. Like everyone has
Right,
that in real life where you just want to have some goofy shit, and if that translates to your character, then that just makes you relatable. It makes it funny, it makes it different instead of just being this same monotone character constantly. And it doesn't mean you have to change it up all the time, because there definitely should be
right.
something recognizable about you, but yeah, just have fun and do something stupid for a change, like having a bedroom as your office because you get thrown out of your own. Eh, yeah, whatever, right? It's funny. People like it, and that's all you need. And if you would have an ego, you could say, "Ah, that's gonna be damaging for my character." Eh, who cares? Just do it. Just have fun.
Yes. There is no. That's the other thing too, y'all. Pro wrestling is supposed to be fun.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Just you know, you know, a little bit of comedy, a little bit of seriousness, and just having a good time.
Zach likes listening
Zach,
to Anthony's promos.
yeah, and
Yeah,
again, Hellbilly has done a fantastic job of just getting better, and they have been really fun to watch. You guys don't hear it, but Scully and I are not only listening to the promos as they play, but we're also saying, "Wow, this is really good." So yeah, it has been such a pleasure of just like I said. I know I keep talking as like a broken record, but I can honestly say I've been so proud of our roster in doing such a fantastic job.
absolutely. Now, when it comes to promos, I do want to say I find it a bit of a shame that you've already seen the promo that I did for Halloween Horror because I did really want to see your live reaction for that. But yeah, yeah. Like I said,
Well,
sometimes you don't need to take everything seriously, you know? So,
no,
yeah,
no. And
yeah,
it was like I said, I was like, "Hey, all right. It's a lot of fun." What's funny is for a while there, Scully was like, "I don't want to see your promos and I want to," but now I'm like, "Dude, just watch this cuz I do want your input." And, oh yeah, it's pretty good.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
um, you know, yeah, I tell you,
And
it's been fun.
I did tell Scully, especially early on when a lot of people were still finding their way, was like, when people send you stuff, you really should listen to it beforehand because sometimes things are slipping through the cracks that really shouldn't have made it onto the show, Scully. So, yeah.
Yeah. hmm
As
That's what all
like,
we're gonna say about that.
uh, I I do want to say, like you mentioned, Jocelyn Scrotchword being an F bomb. Early on, she had a couple of promos where I'm like, Scully, if we keep this up and someone is gonna report us, we're gonna get thrown off Twitch. And yeah, you shouldn't be
But
getting thrown off for Twitch for a couple of F bombs, but we're a small channel. Twitch doesn't give a damn about us. So if they wanted to kick us off for
right,
that, they're gonna do that.
right, right. Um, but again, yeah, you know, that has been the funnest part is just watching people grow here on
Yeah,
WWO. Um, and we see it, and it is so good.
absolutely. I think one thing has changed since then too is that I actually see a lot more promos than back then, because back then it would all just go to Scully constantly. Now a lot of it goes to you, a lot of it goes to me, so that there's more checking
Yeah,
before things actually make it to the show. It's getting a lot more streamlined.
yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, I can definitely say this. I have had an absolute blast in doing the WWO stuff because we call ourselves independent virtual wrestling or virtual independent wrestling, either which way. And to convey to tell the stories and to have all this emotion, it has been just an absolute pleasure and an absolute blast to be doing this because um the sky's the limit on what we can do within reason, right? As long as it's safe for work. But um you know uh oh, that is a good question.
I think I can answer that. I
Sure, go ahead.
I think you're gonna go with Phoenix.
Um, yes, and you're a close second.
Wow. Okay.
You're a close second. Not because I tell you the when I came up with the story of Gene and I, he's let me. I'm gonna tell this quick story about OSU Phoenix, and then we'll have to wrap things up here. But um,
We
when
do
we
have a recording
first
to make,
started,
yeah.
yes, when we first started doing that storyline of I wanted him to be my friend, um, he was like, "Okay, cool. This is gonna be fun." So then I'd show him I'd show him what I was gonna send in, and then he would ask questions. How should I respond to this? Yada yada yada. And I'd say, "Okay, well, I talked about this, this, and this," and I'd give him the bullet points, right? So maybe you should talk about this, this, and this. Okay. By the third month, because that was about a year, right? That was about a year in the making, right?
Yeah.
By month 3 or 4, all he did was start sending me stuff back because he got it. He understood the business. And for somebody who's not in the business to grasp the business like he did was unbelievable. Um, so his and I's interaction and that ambulance match, I will always treasure. I think that was one of my favorite matches I've ever had, just because I was able to zoom in on the facial expressions and you could see the agony in not only myself but Gene's face on the characters. And I was like, it's absolute cinema because you saw the struggle and that was awesome.
We are kind of blessed with that, doing the matches, and David is too. That when we put our hearts into a storyline, that we can actually also kind of dictate how that happens in the ring. You know, uh,
Absolutely.
that's that's right exclusively to people in production. If you can get the matches done, you can do that a little bit of extra in making the matches really good and telling the story
Yeah.
a bit more. And obviously, we try to do that for every story, but it's different when it's your own because you know exactly what the aim is. When
Right.
for others, you know what the aim is, but you don't necessarily have the same emotional dedication to it.
Right. Right. So that has been so fun in bringing you guys the stories because that is my favorite thing to do is to just um give you guys something to go, shit, what's going to happen next?
Yeah,
Um but let's see. I'm gonna end off with if Jeremy was inducted to the WWO Hall of Fame down the line, who would I want to have inducted? Definitely Gene. Him and I are friends in real life, and I think there would be no better person to do that. than Gene, just because of our storied history, not only in real life but also doing um, WWO stuff.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all that that's your answer. That makes complete sense. So yeah,
Yeah. I think and what's funny is I'm not gonna give anything away, but there were talks into doing a WWO Hall of Fame rather sooner than later. You guys are we got some things, got some ideas. So stay tuned for
yeah,
that.
yeah. So any last words you want to have before you start recording live tomorrow?
Yeah. So again, I know I'm a broken record, but I've been so proud of everybody with how they've been doing, especially within the last year. Everybody has um, really stepped up their game on promos and whatnot, and everybody wants to get better. And there are times when I'm like, God, this is shit. And everybody, I'd have like six people go, dude, this is great. And I go, God, I didn't think it was, but um, everybody has been just doing a fantastic job of keeping these storylines going and just having a great time doing it.
Yeah. Now,
Mhm.
obviously tomorrow we have live. I'm gonna get the schedule back up because I still had it saved. Obviously, Chim Kicks did not happen today. We had Jeremy, um, which was a lot of fun. But yeah, tomorrow is WWO Live, so be sure to tune in for that. It's gonna be recorded tonight. I've seen a lot of what's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be a very fun show. Next week we have OSU Phoenix on the show, so that should be a lot of fun. Next week on Saturday, we have Jocelyn on the show for off scripts. And then the Friday after that, the 31st, it's Halloween Horror. And that show is going to be so much fun.
It really is.
So much can happen.
And I know we've said it a million times on Zone, but here, so Halloween Horror is happening Halloween night. We are doing it at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We felt like all trick or treating should be done by then, or damn near close for a little bit of our West Side folks in here in the States. But if we have some, but we are hoping that by the time um, Halloween Horror ends, that's when November 1st rolls around. We are really going to try to time it up so that we're the last thing for Halloween for that you all to see and that you would join us. Um, we are very excited about the storylines heading in and coming out. We're excited about what you all will think about it. And because I tell you what, you guys have really sung our praises on Summer Bash, and thank you for that. Because w- we, I mean, we did work really hard at it, but it that show, and I think you can agree with me, Marvin, because I know we said it before too. That show just flowed super well,
Yeah.
and the matches were great, and it flowed, and then just coming off of it hot, people were just had their jaws to the floor. So we are hoping that this will do just the same.
Yeah, the aim for our big four shows, and those are, of course, Halloween Horror, Summer Bash, Wrestle Clash, and Warzone. We always strive to make the next big four show better than the last. Like obviously, our Wrestle Clash is our version of WrestleMania, and you might want to say, well, WrestleMania should be the biggest show of the year, but we're still growing. So yeah, Summer Bash needs to be better than Wrestle Clash. Halloween Horror needs to be better than Summer Bash, and I think Summer Bash was great on all the courts. I
Hmm.
think Halloween Horror does have the potential to be better than that. So
Oh, absolutely.
yeah,
So do I. Um, And that's all I'm going to say, because if I say any more, I'm going to give up something, and I'm not going to pull an SOA here. Um, that being said, fans, inmates, um, thank you for hanging out with myself and Marvin. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. I did want to say if you spoil anything and we're gonna have to fire you for breach of contract, it's a year non-compete clause. A lot of people think it's 90 days, but it's actually a year if you get fired. uh,
Shit,
uh,
that's so
ju-
good. Um,
that's just a joke for anyone keeping up with wrestling news. It's a mess, but yeah.
oh, it
Um,
is absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. I tell you what. There is a certain someone, I'm not going to mention any Monica names or anything, that sometimes tries to pry stuff out of me, and I'm like, you're not, your evil woman things are not going to tempt me.
Uh, I
But we
mean,
can settle out
yes.
of court
I
for
mean,
$5.99.
I guess we can say that Cooper Potter is becoming world champion at next Wrestle Clash, and that Telunor is gonna foreshadow that. I don't think that big of a deal, you know.
That's a safe bet. Uh,
Right?
but Zach, yeah, like I said, man, we'll get you in there. All right, bud. Hang tight. Um, yeah, again, Marvin, thanks. I'm glad I was able to fill in, and thanks for having me on. And we'll wrap it up, and we'll see you guys soon.
Absolutely. Be sure to check in tomorrow. Goodbye.